refreshing drink. It is. Ash. But it kind of just, like, happens whenever I do, like, impressions of the white girl shit. Like, when I do my Olga story. There you go. Curtis, no, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. Curtis is a good friend. A very good friend. He's, like, one of my best friends. According to Tumblr. Here's how I look at the whole Peter Pan thing. I feel like when you go to sleep, like, because I don't have a religion. Like, I used to be very, like, Catholic and, like, Christian, whatever. I used to be, like, really highly into that. Like, I did a whole bunch of Bible studies, shit, and all that. And not, like, shit, but, like, I did a whole bunch of stuff. And then it kind of just, like, fell apart, and I touted a liar. Oh, my God. And then it kind of, it got to the point where I didn't really have a religion. And then, so I kind of came up with this whole, like, thing, because, this past year, I graduated, and for those that have not graduated already, like, after I graduated, like, when I graduated, it kind of felt like I was getting old. Like, and I feel like I wasted a whole bunch of my childhood, like, wasting it on, like, depression and suicide, because between 6th grade and 11th, I wasted, like, all those years on depression and suicide. I barely left my house, and, like, it was horrible. And so, all that happened, and I feel like I wasted all that time, and then I was graduating. And so, basically, it wasn't until my graduation that I realized that I really just don't want to grow up. And that's when it kind of hit me of how much I actually love the movies Peter Pan, like, all the Peter Pan versions, like. And so, basically, I kind of, like, formed this whole thing about me being Peter Pan and stuff, and because I don't ever want to grow up, and I know that sounds kind of just, like, really, like, but, like, I really don't. I'm 19, and so I came up with this thing where I will grow old, but I will not grow up. There's a difference. And in my I kind of came up with this other thing where every time I go to, like, this probably isn't real at all, but, like, I came up with this random thing where maybe when we fall asleep, we go into, like, other worlds. Like, there are different, like, worlds and, like, lives that we live. And that's how people came up with the ideas of Peter Pan and, like, Alice in Wonderland and, like, all of that. They fell asleep, and they ended up being in those worlds, and then they woke up, and they were, you know how you remember parts of your dreams? Basically, they woke up, and they ended up writing down these dreams, and it was actually them in a different world. And I know this probably isn't real, but, you know, I can believe in whatever I want. So, and if that involves me believing in things that I know aren't real, then that's it. So maybe they woke up after being in Wonderland or Neverland or Narnia or wherever the fuck you want to go, and they wrote these stories because that's the lives they were living in their other worlds, in their like perfect worlds or whatever. And so basically, I came up to the conclusion that every time I fall asleep, I go and I'm in Neverland. Basically, like, that's where I go. And I said to people that, like, my fans and stuff, if you ever need to talk to me, because I'm not there with them. They're all over the world, and I can't be with every single one of them at every second. So if you go to sleep, then you can see me in your dreams and stuff, even though I'm not right there. And we can be there in Neverland. And I feel like after I die, I will always be there in Neverland for them, even after I'm dead. And so, and when you're in a coma, I came up, like, that's basically when, you know how if you've ever seen Peter Pan, like the people version, when it's not actually the fact that, because I don't know if you've seen it, but the mom basically waits at the window waiting for her children to come back. I feel like the children were in a coma, and she was sitting at the window just like waiting for them to wake up, and they were gone in this dream, like this whole dream world thing, which was Neverland. And it was the fact that they were so scared of growing up that because Wendy was about to grow up, and like they were telling her like, you're gonna grow up and be a woman and stuff, and then she had that dream. So basically she went into a coma and stuff along with her brothers and stuff, and that's why the mom and dad were crying and stuff. And then they eventually woke up, and yeah, does that make sense? This got deep, I like it. Can you cry? Okay, bye Phoebe, I love you. You just rewatch my broadcast and talk to myself to your screen. Okay, bye Emily, I love you. A world without Tyler is like a world without Oreos. It just isn't. Tell us a story, please, 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 please. You're confused. Do you like Oreos? I do. I have double stuffed Oreos in my cabinet. I never. Do you have a Twitter? I do. Can somebody put my Twitter over there? It is Night Fury 195. Shit, I'm trying to scroll. What would your hell be like in American Horror Story Coven? I feel like it would just be me 2 years ago when I was at the brink, like, because that was my last suicide attempt 2 years ago. I overdosed, and I can't go back to being that, like, who I was back then. So basically, if that'd probably be my hell. I don't know, man. I don't know. I am now part of your belief. Oh my god. I don't even know. I won't. Yes, triple double Oreos are my favorite kind of Oreos. I just felt like getting a different kind of Oreos this time, so I got a double stuff. Thank you for the gifts, Carrie and Chloe. Do you regret not trying to kill yourself? I did try. Between 6th grade and 11th grade, I had tried many different ways. Basically, like, every day or every other day. And, what do we call this religion? I don't know. But it wasn't until halfway through 11th grade, a week after my birthday, that the first time that I overdosed. And there were multiple times that day where I was gone, and but each time I came back, and because they didn't take me to the hospital at all, I was sitting in a reclining chair. Tyler Steen. Oh dear. Yes, I'm glad I'm here too. Will I marry you? Of course. Hi, Georgia. I love you, Anna. That's our religion. Why didn't they take you to a hospital? I don't even remember why they didn't. I thought it was because of money, but apparently it wasn't. I don't even remember why. Because my sister had tried overdosing 2 months earlier than that. And I was the one that found her. So, I love you, Marissa. Thank you for becoming a fan, Leland. Well, thank you. Thank you for becoming a fan, Revs. I know I'm loved. And I love people. Okay, basically, I realized the morning that I overdosed, because, like, I took all the pills. I only took 20, so it wasn't, like, too bad. But the thing is, like, if my mom hadn't come home and gave me the stuff to throw them up, some of them up, the ones that didn't get, like, into my system, then I would be dead, because I had passed multiple times that day, but I was able to come back each time. But if there was that extra kick, then I wouldn't be here.